Can you actually let us under the hood a little bit to those conversations? Because you're familiar with it just as much as I am. The little chirping that we have from everybody else, from fans, from people who even aren't familiar with women's basketball or the WNBA, who have everything in the world to say about it.
Yeah.
What has been done in this past year to where you feel like optimistic with how the league is trending and just how women's basketball is trending?
Exposure is the name of the game. And like, just to briefly touch on what you say, a lot of times people speak on the WNBA without fully immersing themselves in it. Mm-hmm. Because if you immerse yourself in it, a lot of times the energy that we receive on social media or just through people's thoughts about it, that's not the same energy we get in person. And that's not the same energy. When I walked on the street, people were like, oh, wow, you're tall, you play basketball, oh, you're a Sparks player, oh, I see you on ESPN. Like, It's all great positive energy. And why can't we keep that the same where we have platforms, whether big or small? So I would say that, like, the trend is that our game is growing. Sports, women in sport, like, it's the place that has opportunity to grow, which is really exciting. And exposure is a key. I've seen this, and you've seen this in real time, you know, being able to just sit at, you know, LAPC, which is what we call our studio downtown in LA, and sit next to, I remember, like, I had my pinch me moment, like, sorry, I'm laughing at myself. Tracy McGrady, I literally went and said, like, oh my gosh, you're my crush, man. You were my childhood crush. I said that on air, and I'll never forget. Rachel Nichols was like, I was like, Hoops crush, but also kind of crush too, but like mainly Hoops crush.
Growing up in Houston. Commercial break.
And like everyone knew what I was saying. And then here was Scottie Pippen, and I'm here, and you have like this imposter syndrome of like, why am I here? Well, I'm here because hoops is hoops, and I play the game. I played at a high level, and I try to play it at a high level in the WNBA, and I try my best to bring my highest level when I'm playing. But like, there's this idea that we have this imposter syndrome where why when people speak, you know, try to diminish the W or diminish women in basketball, women in sport, that's not the way we do it. Like, we treat it normally. We usually are like, oh, it's amazing that you're an athlete, that you're capable of doing these things. And the best way we can keep changing that is by pushing exposure, by myself, yourself sitting in these seats with a platform. And I think the W, it's awesome. My boss at ESPN is Dave Roberts, and he's the one that pushed for me to, like, back 3 years ago, go on air with Stephen A. and like go back and forth. And the thing I'd hear a lot was on the street would be like, Janae, I love you keep giving Stephen A. the business. And you know, it's like, once you just get there, then people will start seeing, and it'll shift people's perception of what, oh, it's not that she's a WNBA player speaking on the NBA. It's like, she has great points. She cares about the game. And so that exposure I've seen in real time. And now my boss is trying to like institute like pregame shows for the WNBA, or even hopefully a daily show. The same way we talk about NBA today, WNBA today. You know, that's what normalizes things, that equalizes things.
Right. There was somebody on TikTok who, it was a group of people having a debate, and there was a female basketball player in this debate, but they said that women's basketball needs to lower the rim to 9 feet, because the problem with women's basketball is that they're not dunking on each other. And it really upset me in a way. And I actually replied, and from the most basic level of, if you think about changing the height of the rim, can you imagine how much less access women growing up playing ball would have? If you think about I spent a lot of time outside playing basketball, like at the park or at whatever court it was or whatever. So it was such a elitist way of thinking that, like, oh yeah, every hoop will have one 10-foot and one 9-foot, one for the guys, one for the girls. At the same time, how much did you play with boys growing up to improve your game? All the time, right? And when I see arguments like that, I'm like, you know, maybe I get it because you do care about female athletes.
But the question is, do you though? Because my sister had a really good answer on a panel to this. And she said the conversation about changing the rim is to placate someone that is looking for a reason probably not to support the women that play. You're just saying, oh, this will fix it, and I'm still probably not going to support it because I still prefer something else. Instead of appreciating what it is inherently.
Right.
And when she said that, I was like, ooh, NECA, okay, yeah. Like, I'm on it. But yeah, I do agree with you.
There's a lot of those little things that it's like, hey, let's change the game to like
change the uniforms. Yeah.
Right. Just change all of these different things. And what I'm seeing, which I think is going to be the biggest asset to female hoopers and females who are playing at Division I or college level or pro level, or maybe never even getting to that point, is the access with social media and the ability to become a star in your own right with the platform that you have.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm invested into you, I'm going to want to see everything that you're doing. I see you on TV, then I'm like, I wonder how good she really is. Like, let me turn on a game.
Oh, 100%. You know? That's what I get.
Right. And so there's these young stars that are coming up. I see them on TikTok. Like, I see girls in the locker room, like at Stanford, at these different...
Haley and Cameron probably you see on
like, so good. I'm like, yes, like, do this. Like, we get to see your personality. We get to see who you are as an athlete. And then I'm more inclined to watch your game because, no, there's not as many WNBA games on television as there is NBA games, right? So there's not as many opportunities to flick it on and watch. But when you're familiar with these players and you're fans of these people, these humans, these, like, amazing girls that they are, you want to turn it on.
Yeah, you know? And that's the exact same principle or idea that we brought up with Ja or Zion or Luka. They're in control of their own brand and their image, and that's why even if they're not on NBA channels, they're still getting exposure and building to become the faces of the league. And so for women, it is largely social as well, and I love it. And I'm so excited because this next generation of hoopers is going to be like, they're going to know how to say no.
Right.
You know what I mean? We grew up, we had to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
You want to do this? Yes, to create this one opportunity that you want.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, growing up, we had the ladder to success and you have to take every step. No, there's more ownership that's available for players. And at the end of the day, us young people having ownership is key because then we can create our own opportunities. And I love that.
What's up, guys? It's Rachel DeMita. Thank you so much for watching Courtside Club. Make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe to ESPN's YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your podcasts. We have new episodes coming to you guys every single week, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon.